morning from Warsaw in Poland, where I am today flying with Polish Airlines to Billund. I have arrived rather early today here for my flight, but that gives me a bit of time to go on a little bit of a discovery of the airport. First objective, however, is to get rid of my checked-in luggage, or the luggage that I want to check in. And then I think I will make our way through security, and then we will see how this trip will go with Polish Airlines. But for now, let's head inside the terminal and see what that's all about. So the last time I flew with LOT, it ended up being somewhat disappointing, but I'm happy to give it another try, as my feeling is that the last flight was just a case of a bad day at the office. But let's see how the airline will be doing on this service from Warsaw to Billund. I have, but it would be nice to have on paper. After having successfully dropped my luggage at a manned desk, which I always prefer, it is time to head through security. Alright, so we've passed through security. Not the most pleasant experience, to be honest. I mean, nothing I've experienced much worse, but still, I guess those lovely folks at the security checks have never seen or experienced a smile, but okay. We're through it, so let's move on. We have plenty of time before our flight today, so I would suggest that we just take a stroll through the terminal to see, maybe we find something interesting, maybe we can see some lovely planes, and then we also need to figure out what aircraft we're actually traveling on. The route to Billund is usually operated with Embraer aircraft, but Polish Airlines, of course, has the, I don't know if it's that unique, but it's certainly also not the most common thing, that they actually operate 4 different types of the Embraer aircraft, so the 170, the 75, the 90 and the 95. So that's pretty cool. So basically we could get any of these aircraft types on our flight today. But I think a quick glimpse on Flight Radar will reveal which aircraft we will be traveling on today. But for now, let's just take a little walk through the terminal and see what we can find. So, a little bit disappointing so far. I mean, there are plenty of shops, plenty of places to eat and drink and have a good time, but I haven't found any plane models. We're at an airport. That's not right. For me, that is of course an essential item any airport should have on offer, but so far I haven't had any luck finding it. So let's instead try to figure out what aircraft type we'll be flying on today. Alright, so as mentioned, I have a feeling that we will be flying, I'm pretty sure that we'll be flying on an Embraer, but which one? Well, let's see if we can find out with the help of Flight Radar. It looks like we'll be flying on an E90 in the standard livery of the airline. To be honest, I had hoped for one of the many special liveries, not that you would be able to see that from within the aircraft, but it could have been fun to fly anyways. But we still have plenty of time before our flight departs, so instead of just sitting around, let's one more time see if we can find any plane models. So I guess I managed to find some plane models. Not quite the ones I was looking for, but better than nothing, I guess. But finally it has become time for boarding. And on today's flight, all luggage of passengers is checked for size and weight. Very unusual, but on the other hand, one of the biggest problems in the industry is the fact that too many airlines do not make sure that luggage rules are observed. so I won't complain. What, however, is to be complained about is the otherwise chaotic handling of the boarding, because despite the boarding desk being well staffed, no one seems to be able to use the PA system in order to communicate the boarding procedures to passengers.
Thank you.
Dziękujemy za współpracę. Welcome on board. Please place any larger items of your hand luggage in the overhead compartment. Smaller items such as backpacks and parcels should be placed under the seat in front of you. Once the bags are safely stowed, we ask that you take your seat as indicated on your boarding pass. Passengers seated in a front row seat or next to emergency exit must place all their hand luggage and personal belongings.
And with that, welcome on board. The cabin of the E90 is quite nice, with sufficiently sized overheads, good seat pitch and seat width, and overall very comfortable seats. Just the lack of power or USB plugs, as well as no Wi-Fi, are a drawback. Shortly after having reached our cruising altitude, the onboard service is started and the crew serves passengers quickly but always with a warm and welcoming smile. Quite the difference from my last experience on board one of the LOT planes. Passengers are offered buns with apple or spinach, and as I last time tried apple, I this time choose spinach. The taste was alright, but the bun itself wasn't that exciting. Still, it's complimentary with all economy tickets, so I don't want to complain. Still, and sparkling water as well as tea or coffee is also offered complimentary, which is a nice difference to the many airlines that today only offer onboard services for additional pay. As we are closing in on Billund, what can we say in conclusion? LOT offers a product at and around the standard you'll get with most European airlines. The complimentary snack and water, coffee or tea is a nice touch, and the crew did a good job executing the task proficiently and in a very welcoming manner, making passengers feel comfortable on board. So all in all, a much better experience than on my previous flight with LOT, and much closer to what I would expect when flying with the airline.
Welcome to Billund Airport.
All in all, a pleasant flight. Definitely a better experience than with my last time flying with Lot. And I think a good way to end a spotting trip to Warsaw. Now, I will now be heading home once I've got my luggage and then prepare for the next flight. And I hope you will join me on another trip here on the channel once it becomes available. But until then, thank you so much for having joined me here today and see you in another one.